because it's essentially what I did when I first heard about this story. If you pull out your phone and you look at Google Maps and you plot the location of all the cities that Yasser's just mentioned in his package, you'll come likely more than not to the same conclusion I did. Routing cargo from the port of Safaga on the Egyptian side of the Red Sea to Neom in Saudi Arabia and then overland into Iraq, it intuitively makes sense. But why wasn't this done earlier? That's why I started my conversation with Dr. Bاسم Hashad some hours ago.
Until very recently, the requisite infrastructure simply didn't exist. Previously, there was no integrated multimodal network combining Egyptian highways, a fast and efficient port at Safaga, for example, in the eastern part of Red Sea, a reliable maritime crossing to the NEQM, for example, and coordinated overland links into Iraq. Now, with those gaps being actively filled, the corridor could launch for the first time. And the successful initial, let me frame it this way, that the successful initial trial clearly illustrates how newly established infrastructure across all three countries made this possible.
What kind of cargo would benefit most from using this route, moving cargo straight, from Egypt into Saudi Arabia and then on into Iraq, or the other way around?
Very good question. Thank you, Rama, for this. Let's say, given that the trial route is cuts the transit time by over 50 to 55%. This is based on the studies in this sequence compared to the traditional routes. This corridor then would be very ideal for first time-sensitive goods. Let's say perishables, fresh produce, pharmaceuticals, and express e-commerce deliveries, for example. This is the best fit goods, if we could say, or time-sensitive goods. Also, we have the high-value manufactured goods that benefit from rapid and secure transit, is also having a very good benefit, I would say, on the top or most from relatively safe and expedited route in our case. We have also the supply chain critical items like manufacturing components, like automotive parts, especially when geopolitical issues or Suez Canal congestion threaten traditional sea routes. And you know what's going on now in the Red Sea. All the world, I believe, know what's going on there. And I believe we are still in the peak of the event in the eastern and southern part of the Red Sea. So I see no hope for the time being to reuse it as regularly has been used. One more thing is the regional trade itself. The regional trade meaning between the North Africa and the Middle East, let's say textiles, food products, industrial goods or product destined for Iraqi Kurdistan and beyond is, I would say, very much benefited from the. In short, anything where time, reliability, and reduced risk matter benefits greatly from this corridor.
What needs to be done to improve the infrastructure that's in place now? Because the pilot has clearly proven that there's a massive time saving that's available here, 50% in some cases. So what next for this trade route? More investments in roads, perhaps rail links as well?
Another very good question. Thank you for this, and thanks for the preparation team. Actually, to scale this corridor from a pilot project or a pilot attempt to a high volume competitive logistics channel, several layers of investment are needed and remain very, very critical in our case. For example, the enhanced overland infrastructure. From the Saudi side, this is my belief, of course, it's not like a decision, but I would say it's some sort of advice. From the Saudi side, I believe they should expand and maintain freight-capable highways connecting the Neom, which is the new the land all the world now is talking about, toward the Iraqi borders. And from the Iraqi side, for example, to develop arterial roads or let's say dual track rail for faster, high capacity inland transport into Erbil and the Iraqi part and the center of Iraq, or the central part of Iraq. We have also another advice, or I would say enhancement needed to fully optimize this road, which is the rail development, like to construct a double track rail corridor along the Neom-Iraqi axis that would dramatically boost capacity and cut transit times further.
How much capital, though, would be needed to bring this vision to life? Because, you know, we can have this grand idea of what the trade corridor should look like, but at the end of the day, it does come back down to money, doesn't it? How much capital is available to actually invest in expansion of this infrastructure?
I have no exact numbers, but I believe, yes, it's billions, I would say. But let's take it from another perspective, Rama. Let's talk about the ROI. If you are talking business and investment, let's see what would be the expected ROI for such projects. My belief, and of course we need more figures to analyze, but my belief is it's a very one of the potential projects, and the ROI will not be at least not less than 15 to 20%, which is commercially very accepted.